why this flat pack and you got balls at the end of the stairs, so they can't walk back. At least not from legal. Right. And see, right now with the older all right. Hey, everybody. Brannon Beliso here. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm getting ready to hop on a plane, head back to my family in SF. But before I did that, we wanted to stop by Ageless Martial Arts. 1 year later, the video I posted last year, it really went viral. It's kind of like a restaurant impossible. We did a walkthrough, we looked at the school, I gave a lot of comments on what needed to happen, and here we are today. So 1 year later, we're gonna check out the improvements, see how much advice he took and took action on. That's really the big thing. Information by itself is useless. It's only when we take action that we get results. I can say all day long, I think I should, I think I should, I think I should, but until I'm willing to step up to the plate, until I'm willing to take a chance, take action, nothing changes. So, we see he's got some window dressing now, right? Kids karate, toddler karate, adult martial arts, right? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. It's perforated, so it still lets the sunlight in. He's got this open sign here. I'm going to encourage him to get rid of because it's just not necessary in what we do today. Starbucks. Look at all the great stores nowadays. They don't have an open sign. You can go through the internet to Yelp, places like that, and pull up people's business hours. That to me is more important because someone's not going to drive by to see if you're open. This is okay, but what I would do is get an acrylic sign holder, put it on the inside, and then put that piece of paper in, because from the weather and everything, this is going to get dirty and dingy really, really fast. You agree? Okay. And he's got tape, and that's just, for me, you know, I have an expression, I say it's ghetto. So this is cool. I like this. Ageless Martial Arts, phone number, and all that good stuff. I would probably get rid of the zebra. I know we like to co-brand with very popular vendors such as Sensei and everybody else, but again, if I'm a mom with a 6-year-old kid, what does zebra mean to me? So it's a little bit conflicting because I've got this Ageless Martial Arts brand I'm trying to communicate, this logo here, right? And then directly below I've got this zebra thing, and the average mom with a 6-year-old kid is not going to know what the heck zebra is. It doesn't even say zebra training mats or anything. It just says zebra, train with confidence. So what does that mean to a mom with a 6-year-old kid? Anybody? Type it in there. What does that mean to a mom with a 6-year-old kid? It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then around this side of the building, I encouraged him, because he's got some stores here and stuff, was to put more signage, and this is really nice. Kids karate, toddler karate, adult martial arts, right? I think that's pretty cool. Again, it's consistent, even though they're different programs. See how he separated them? I really encourage that, not to cross brand. Do not cross brand. I would make a thing that says kids karate, kickboxing, and all that in one. So I really like how he separated that. And in today's culture, a phone number is not needed. It really is not. I think what's needed more than anything, I'd get that piece of fiberglass off the floor there. That's not happening, right? By far. Okay, so let's go in. You ready? Let's see what kind of improvements. All right, so let's take a look. We're inside. I love that he's now has a formal front desk. Look at that. Ageless Martial Arts, rise above. That's cool, right? For a small school, it's a nice professional desk. Last time we were here, and we'll post the other video right after this of last year, was some ghetto piece of cheap IKEA Target thing. And I don't say ghetto in a bad way. I was born poor. I grew up in the ghetto. I just believe we need to elevate our game and be professional. I like that he finally instilled this rack. What I would encourage, see how the papers fold over? What we learned about that, because that's inherent with that, is I would take the first sheet, I would laminate it. Oh, you could do that. You do that every day, that's going to take up time, right? Flip the paper around. You could freaking do that. But what we choose to do is laminate it. Right, we would laminate this thing and then be able to put one in front, laminated to hold the other ones in place. This idea, this display I got from John Cassidy. What was cool about this display for me, it keeps, when we're working with somebody and giving them information, we never, ever, ever take our eyes off the client. We don't reach down into a drawer. None of that ever happens. So I think that's really, really nice. That's really nice. The floor looks good though, right? The new mats look great. I really, really love that it's branded now. You know, Lorenzo did a great picture session. How much did these pictures cost you to do, Lorenzo?
$12.
$12 after.
There was a sale for Christmas.
Good, and what did you spend on the photographer?
He did it free, actually. For
Good, so there you go. And we got a nice little spotlight. This picture would not look as good as it does without that little spotlight above. You see we've got it all the way down. I think that's really, really nice. The challenge for me with this is that unless you're on the floor, this means nothing. And if I'm busy training over time, I'm not even gonna look at this, right? I'm not gonna look at this. But I think for an overall brand, we know his colors are gray and blue and white. I think it's really good, right? It's really good. I love it. It really communicates the culture of the school, the action shots, the intensity, the instructor giving the older guys some love there. I think it's really nice. It's really, really nice. The mirrors, last time we were here, we had a big giant mirror sitting in this corner. It's no longer there, which is really nice, but he needs to fix that. That's not happening at all. At all.
That just came off of the day.
It doesn't matter. It should have been fixed a day ago. If it came off a day ago, you should have fixed it a day ago, right? Things like that are really important. If anybody knows me in San Francisco, we had a pocket door lock break. It was fixed within 12 hours because the people needed it for the bathroom. There's certain things you need to address that need to be done. This trim, what's going on with this black trim right here, Lorenzo? I don't understand black, then the gap, black, then the gap. What's that all about?
Because
What's this?
These are casino mirrors, so we couldn't find them this size. This was the biggest that we could find. For
Black
this.
trim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To match that, so to give it that same effect. But
Yeah,
basically,
if it were I'd get rid of it altogether and just go without it.
eventually we will. Yeah.
Yeah, and then things like this, cover up these outlets. That's what? That's $1 plastic outlet.
That was hit by a dog
at Home
the other
Depot.
day.
That's irrelevant. It needs to be fixed.
Yes, sir.
Anybody can make excuses. Successful people find a way. Unsuccessful people make excuses. This is much better than it was last time. I'm really happy with this overall. You know, it's got legitimate stands now, right? So everything can go. I would just, again, be mindful. Symmetry. People, you know, our eyes are conditioned to see things in lines, right? You look at the line of the door, you look at the line of a mat. Everything we see is in lines, rectangles, different things of that nature, right? So when we see things out of order, even, watch this, okay, take a look at that, right? If we just tighten this up and put all these noodles, it just looks better. It's symmetrical, right? But when you allow it to do, you know, stuff like this, right? You see that? Because that's just the way the eye is trained. I would get something for these. They have little hooks at Target that they got now that we can hang these on and look really symmetrical. And again, unfortunately, it's just the way the eye is. See, little things like this, right? You got this awesome rack, but we were very diligent. And I know this is a little, God, I don't want to say that word, but you might say it's a little anal, right? That I think that way. But see, I would take this, and even the logos, everything would be facing the same way, right? Even this doesn't work for me. And that's, again, as I say, it's not the little things that matter, it's everything that matters. So, and if I pay attention to every little detail, how's this gonna get me 10 more students? Well, it's gonna definitely endear the 10 that you have in your school. You see that? Doesn't that look better? Right? So things like that, I like that he's got a place for the balls now, but this doesn't work for me, this cord coming across. I would get some kind of molding and tack it against the wall nice and solid so everything looks neat. So right, it's much better, right? Coming back here, this has always been an eyesore for me. It's better, but this table shouldn't be here. People come here to the bathroom, it's very easy. Again, this isn't attached to anything. We're just gonna grab this table and knock it down. It's very unsafe. Maybe set yourself up for a lawsuit. I'm not sure, what is this?
It's a bulletin board.
It's what?
Was a bulletin board. We just took down some of Kevin's seminar stuff, so.
It's a bulletin board for people to look.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I would take it down. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, let's see. This is a big one for me. Wow, not bad, right? Not bad. Nice and clean. Ooh, I like this, right? A little bit of, Lorenzo, this to me has nothing to do with anything. I would get rid of it, all of it. This is nice. Ooh, I like that. But this is a great spot to use the acrylic, the clear sign holders, right? As I shared, when someone's sitting down here peeing, which is mainly the mom, because I don't think moms pee standing up, and then I would put the acrylic sign right here. So if I'm sitting down on the pot, I see across this, is really unsafe. I can see some little freaking kid back here, 4-year-old going to the bathroom, grabbing this and wanting to look at the trophy, and then, look at this. He could pull this thing right down on his head. It's not even attached to the wall, right? We want to be kid friendly, so that's got to change. This is okay, but what we learned in the bathroom, I like a lid because I don't want him to see the garbage. Problem is, most little kids can't open them. Right, I know, right? So this needs to go, because they can pull it on their head, really unsafe. If you want, get a cabinet and mount it on top there and put stuff inside where the kids can't touch it. But overall, it's really clean, right, which is nice. I like that, I think it looks great. And it smells good. Smell is very important to moms. This is a storage. I don't expect it to be in great shape. Just, it is what it is, right? Just freaking is what it is. We all have one of these rooms, but this freaking door should be closed at all times. At all times, it should be closed. And I would consider putting a sign on it saying employees only, because if I come back here to the bathroom and I'm not paying attention, it's very easy not to go here and go there. It's very easy. And the other thing I'm confused here, the doors don't match. This one's white with a white frame, and this one's framed in brown, and it's got a brown door. So what I would do at the minimum, if my colors are blue and gray and black, I would paint these doors. I would do this door in black trim and paint it, some color, blue or white, because you have white throughout the school. And same thing here, because you want things to be uniform, and right now they're not. Cool, so overall, I think it's a great improvement. Again, I'm a detail guy, so little things like that, tape hanging on your ceiling, just doesn't cut it. I'd say overall, last year I gave them an F, a total F. Right now I'd give them about a C, because there's more things you can do like this. This to me is just so not happening. I mean, it's so not happening, and it should be corrected. So good job, Lorenzo. Great improvement, sir. But again, like I shared this desk, look at that. The desk is dirty. It's dirty, and we know there's a lot of dust here. So all this, and nothing looks in place. I would go through it. I bet some of these magazines are like 1,000 years old. Let's see, what's the date on this MA Success? Oh, how many months ago is that? That's June. Here's July. I mean, again, if you're not needing, okay, it hasn't even been opened. Get rid of all this stuff. Look, he's got issues, and they're dusty. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Put them away. Do something with them, because they don't help your business. They don't promote your business. If it's for you to educate yourself as a school owner, but those haven't even been opened, so it's irrelevant, right? They're not helping him learn anything. So those kind of things need to happen. You look at stuff like that on the floor. Paying attention to details, the little things really, really matter. But I would say from when we were here last year, what a great improvement. I like this a lot. It's very clear. His life skills are what we teach. He's utilizing our kids love life skills, and he's got the skill set to work on. What I would make sure now is who's working on family in the school right now, Lorenzo?
I give those to the introductory students.
But I would take it out, because this is where I know as a parent, we're working on stripe 17 and 18, yes? Mm-hmm. Is it this week, next week? Which stripe are we on?
We're going to be on brown on Monday.
So I would only have brown there. It's confusing to have 17 and 18.
I see.
I would just put 17 if I'm on 17, but who is this for? What belt levels?
This is for level 1 through level 4.
So I'd have a sign above it here that says level 1, 2, 3, 4. And who's discipline? Who's working on discipline?
The toddler, the excellent kids.
So it would say excellent kids above it. And who's working on focus?
Level 1.
Level 1. So it'd be a sign
or
above
level
that.
1 through 3.
Yeah, level 1 through 3. So I would have a sign above that, because as nice as that is, I as a parent want to know. If I was talking to a brand new parent, I could look over and say, hey, we're on excellent kids, working on discipline, which means to always do your best. So the other thing was this skills case. The fact that it's empty means you need to reorder new Kids Love Life Skills badges, Lorenzo. It looks empty. Is it empty?
Yes.
Pretty much. So that tells me you need to replenish your stock. And at this point, as long as you've been using Excellent Kids and Kids Love Life Skills, you should have multiple cases of all the different badges.
It got hit by dodgeballs, so.
Yeah, but again, I want to hear that. So what kind of dodgeballs are you using?
Your dodgeballs, the ones that you told me to buy.
The neoprene ones?
Yeah, look.
Well, then you need to mount this thing properly. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at the way this thing's mounted. Oh, man.
These are the ones you use at the school.
Yeah, but those aren't mounted properly, sir.
Okay, I'll super glue them.
No, I would mount them properly. You don't have to super them. So I would take this case, and this case would go up here. It would go up front here. You know why?
Oh, okay.
That way, the new parent sitting in the waiting area can see the badges, realize you teach life skills. It will have so much more impact. Tell me, what has more impact to the mom with a 6-year-old kid that's never done martial arts? Discipline to always do your best, focus to pay attention, or this belt rack? What do you think this means to a brand new parent? Somewhere over the rainbow. That's about it, right? That's all you're gonna get, because it means nothing to a new parent. But when they see things like this, discipline to always do your best, focused to pay attention, it resonates with them on such a higher level. Plus, again, even though it's not a big school, I would still do a school tour so they know where the bathroom stuff is. What a great conversation piece. And to be able to have the display case right there, again, you want it in their sight, on their minds constantly. And by having the badges here, the kids will look at them and go, oh, I want to earn that one, I want to earn that one. If I'm training in class, I'm not going to go up there and look at that case way over there in the distance. Cool? Yeah, and then I would probably put a clear bathroom sign back there because I come into your school and I don't know where the bathroom is. I, as a parent, would love to see maybe right to the left of that white door where you have one of those round signs we see, in businesses and stuff, the plastic one you stick to the wall that shows it's a bathroom, right, with the handicap and all that thing on it. Very professional. And then at least even if I'm sitting back here and I need the bathroom, it's obvious to me that it's right there. And you just got to put it between the white door and that wall next to the bathroom. Cool?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and again, I would shore all of this up. This to me is really confusing. It just needs some love. It needs a lot of love, actually. Because nobody stands here and trains, do they?
No,
No, never. So I would consider reconfiguring this in such a way. This too, I think this is too long. I actually don't think you need this at all. At all. I think all you really need, Lorenzo, is this first half. You don't really need this side. Not at all. Because I'm sure she's not dealing with more than one client at a time. So I would actually get rid of this and create a clear pathway so that I feel comfortable going to the bathroom. Because I, as a parent, I'm hesitant to step on this mat with my shoes. You're a Shotokan Japanese school, right? So they're going to be very hesitant to step onto the mat. So to give them a clear walkway, because I'd be very embarrassed to walk on your mat like this and then walk over to here to go to the bathroom.
No, they've been going to the bath. Because remember when you first consulted me, you told me to make a pathway.
So that's the pathway.
That's the pathway.
Yeah, then I would move those bags out. It's really sandy here in Las Vegas, so I would encourage to clean a lot more. This desk, look at this desk. It's just covered in dust, right? It's really dirty, but that's inherent with Las Vegas, right? It's real dusty, so you just have to be mindful on your task list to clean all the time. All the time, all the time. I might also encourage moving this monitor to the left side, because if I'm back here and I'm sitting serving clients, this can actually be a deterrent, this big giant screen, because it's so big. I actually think this screen is too big for this desk. I would probably get rid of the screen. All of these wires need to be tucked away because, when I'm on the floor working, even though I'm on the floor, nobody should see all this stuff. Bury it in the walls, do what you can to do that. And then, little things like this. This is lack of detail. See all this stuff in here? Again, I don't think it's the little things that matter. I think it's everything that matters. Stuff like this, just not happening, get rid of it. What I would have done in hindsight now is I probably wouldn't have done perforated in this window. See, the perforation allows the sunlight in, but if I'm not really getting any people standing out here looking in the window and I don't need this sunlight, I would go with a solid piece of window dressing because that will keep the light out, and you probably won't need these blinds at all because these blinds, we're actually trying to get away from that in every part of our school. The little thing we talked about last year that still need to be addressed, stuff like this. You can get a T-bar guy in something like the Penny Saver, right? And he'll come in and probably correct all of this up front. And this was from last year's build out. He can probably fix all of this for under a couple $100, right? And again, our brand is our brand. I would have somebody come back and re-drywall this because you got this nice logo that says Ageless Martial Arts with really good spotlights on it, right? Looks really nice. But then you got this really bad patchwork right there. So little things like that I would address. And the waiting area, and I'm really not for folding chairs for me because what it says is I'm transitional. I'm not permanent. I don't belong here. So I think it's important that we not do that. When somebody sits down in your waiting area, I would like it to be permanent, more permanent. So spending the time to get a bench, like a bench that people can sit on, something more solid, I think is very, very, very important. Very important. So that's the next thing I would address would be the waiting area. Stuff like this chip paint, this over here, this over here where the mat is all jacked up and sticking out. You see that? Not cool. I see you started to frame it, which was really nice. I love this black frame here coming along the edge. But see, this shows, and when we talk about mindsets, the whole thing about correcting your school is a mindset, right? You start something, but you don't finish it. And that's inherent of many people because we're wearing 1,000 hats trying to get a lot of things done. So don't start a project without finish it. I think the big thing as far as mindset goes, do one thing at a time. And if I was going to spend the time to frame this mat and I did this far, I would have framed that thing all the way across. All the way across. Now, to deal with these chips, Lorenzo, it's not a big deal. All you got to do is laminate. So once you paint it,
we always laminate it. It just keeps chipping off.
Well, I can see by the laminate that you're using, it's a very matte finish. So if you get a heavier grade and let it dry really well, instead of putting it back right away, it's got a cure for a couple of days.
Yes,
So I would get new molding, cut it, laminate, paint it with several coats, laminate it really well 3 or 4 times, and let it sit for a week before you ever put it in. And just leave this, because wood is cheap, right? Wood is cheap. I think that's cool. These little folding chairs in the corner I would get rid of. It's a hazard. If a new parent's standing here with a 4-year-old, it's very easy for that 4-year-old to grab onto this and pull that thing down. So we want to get rid of that. I would get rid of these business cards because it's not the same brand. I don't know. That Ageless Martial Arts does not say anything. And her Heather Sue Finley doesn't have Ageless Martial Arts branding on it. If you're going to put business cards here, I want a consistent brand. Boom, there's Ageless, right? Boom, there's Ageless. Boom, there's Ageless. Boom, there's Ageless. So this is a huge distraction for me. And constantly, our front desk is, remember, it's the focal point. People walk into your school, it's the first thing that they see. I want to make sure everything at this front desk is always neat, always ready to go, right? So I want to be very mindful of that. And the other thing I do want to address is you do need some kind of recess. They make a great plastic, the rubber mats. Yeah, I'll post it. But see the transition from
the little ramps?
Yeah. The tile floor up to that mat. If some 88 person walked in here, there's no transition. So if I'm handicapped in a wheelchair, there's no transition. At least not the legal transition. So there's these rubber mats that we can post. These rubber transitional mats that should be down there. Cool. All right. So again, he's at about a C. We're going to check back maybe in about a month, see if Lorenzo is an action taker. And if Lorenzo is an action taker, then what that means in the next month, we'll see the ceiling fixed. We're going to see this table gone because it doesn't need to be there. Even with that being the walkway,
I can't cut this.
I don't think, doesn't it come off?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is all you need. See that? It separates right there. All you really need is this. Because, I bet she helps tie kids' belts and stuff while you're teaching, right?
No, I haven't taught her to do that.
Oh, you should. Because while you're running class, she's sitting right here. If this table wasn't here, she could help kids untie their belt.
Yes, sir.
Without having to come out from behind it. And that's pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty cool. You may consider also, do you have uniforms on site when they sign up?
Yeah, usually.
Right, so I would keep a few up here so she doesn't have to go all the way to the back. Because when she has to leave this station and go to a back to get a uniform, you lose connection with the client you're working with. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So maybe just one size of each, right? Where you can store conveniently so she has it at her fingertips so she never has to leave the client. Go.
Yes, sir.
All right, good job. So he's about a C, got up from an F. I really love the pictures. It is his brand. It's very clear. I really love what's going on there. Again, if we tighten up these little things and get some good seating, get some really
Well,
good
so
seating.
my question is, when I do birthday parties,
Yeah, you need those chairs. Oh, and you put the tables here.
yeah.
Right. But
So then how would I, if
Well,
I do your type of
you
seating?
could get benches that you can move. Movable benches. Yeah, like these things move, right?
Right.
Yeah, but these, see, the thing, my challenge with these, they look like they should be in my house, right? They don't look like they should be here. But if you could find something like that in a bench, like a, a black
Because
bench.
my issue is everyone's always putting their gear here, and I can't seem to get them to put it over here.
So if you had benches where they could store stuff underneath,
Yeah.
they'd be more likely to do that, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So get a bench that has storage underneath, and they can store their gear underneath. Especially back along this back wall. If you had a bench where they could put their gear underneath, they'd put their gear there and put it on sitting there, correct?
Yeah.
Because you don't have a dressing room for them to do that.
Right. No,
Yeah. So I think that's good, sir. We can get a bench along this whole back wall where they can store their stuff underneath, their shoes, their bag. Then they're more likely to do that because they can sit down, right? You can sit down right here, right? And put on their gear. And then people can sit up front. And I think you have room for another row. Do you ever have that many parents? You need 3 rows?
It's getting to that point.
Good.
almost.
Yeah. And those benches, what's great about those benches, if you find a legitimate bench, 6 foot, 8 foot bench, those could be the benches with the tables for the birthday party.
Right.
And you can get rid of these altogether.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, folding chairs. It's like sleeping on a futon. Do you like to sleep on a futon?
I did.
Remember futons? Right. That's what we do in college. We sleep on a futon in college, but it's not something I would recommend we do. It's not something I'd recommend we do for our clients. So having a folding chair is like sleeping on a futon. It's something transitional and it's not permanent. It doesn't say you're here to do business. And then not to mention, we had this accident day camp where kids would buckle these chairs.
Right. I've had that a few times.
There you go. Well, duh. That's why we don't have those kind of chairs. If you look, we have the kind of chairs that are legitimate kid-sized chairs, so their feet touch the ground, and they can't. We even have balls at the end of the chairs, so they can't rock back.
Wow.
Right. And see, right now with a folding chair, they can fold that chair and hurt themselves. Cool. All right. Hey, this is Brannon Beliso from the aftermath of the Super Show, stopping by Ageless Martial Arts with Sensei Lorenzo Sandavol. It's been really cool. I love that he's made some effort, but you know me, it's not the little things that matter, it's everything that matters. And I would love to see him step up that game and not give me excuses, but simply produce, right? Successful people are just willing to do what unsuccessful people are not. And if we're going to get from 80 to 100, 100 to 150, you ask me, well, what does that matter? Of course it matters. If I'm sitting in your waiting area on a folding chair, it's not nearly as well as an experience as a nice bench. You feel me? So that's really important. I know those little things add up, right? Pay attention to the little things, to everything. Cool? So what's coming up next for us? I want you to remember our kidslovelifeskills.com. You can still go get the Super Show discount of 20% off on our basic kits, all the badges. We now have peel and stick badges. Peel and stick. Everyone's been waiting for that. We're updating the support materials. Realize we are not a badge company. We are a character development life skills systems, and you need that. No one's going to go to a soccer coach and say, teach my kid focus and discipline. They will walk into your school and demand it. If you don't have a legit system in place, then we're missing the boat. And that's what's going to separate us from soccer, gymnastics, swimming, and everything else. Cool? After that, we know in November we have my It's Time Live Again event. November 9th, Dave Kovar will be there. Friday, November 9th for an instructor's boot camp from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then after that, on Saturday, we have It's Time Live November 10th and 11th for the 2-day experience. And then some people are going to stay for 4 days. Cool? Only limited to 60 school owners. Sell out fast. Go to brannonbeliso.com/itstime/live. Until we talk again, you go out there, live your best life.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, it's better. It's much better. But